Good morning, guys. It's Tuesday. Lovely Tuesday. It's not nearly as nice as it was out yesterday today, but it's still a decent enough day. If it's not snowing, I'm happy. Anyhow, we got Craig here again today. We're going to go over the Delica. We're going to get that thing finished up. He's got to take down the headliner, and I got to get those speakers installed. So I guess you could call this part 2 of part 1, and we'll get started. Today, we got to hit this thing up and get this thing taken apart. Well, it's already been kind of taken apart because we kind of use this thing as a parts car. You guys haven't really seen this thing too much. I use this thing as my advertising vehicle, and Craig kind of gave it to me to do that with, which is kind of awesome. And we're gonna go inside this thing and check out the interior, which has already been gutted for the most part. The interior has already been mostly gutted, as you can see. We gotta get one of those curtains that are up there inside, and we're gonna put it inside the Delica that's inside of the shop today. He brought a pretty cool car with him today. He actually brought a pretty cool car with him yesterday too. He had a, I think a 1980s style Austin Mini with him, which was awesome. But today he's got a Toyota Harrier. You guys might think this thing is a Lexus, but it's actually a Toyota Harrier. He's got the little Harrier badge there. It's right-hand drive, and this thing's pretty cool too. It's basically like the base model, I guess you could say, of the it's still actually not pretty base model at all. This thing's awesome, totally awesome. It's got the factory JBL audio system in there, moonroof. This thing is wicked. Anyhow, I'll show you guys this thing a little bit later, but we're actually going to go inside and check out what we got going on. What's up, my people? What's going on, guys? So we got Craig in here, and I think he's taking down the headliner. He's already in the process of doing that. Hey Craig, thanks yesterday for giving people that explanation on the turbo timer.
We should do a little explanation on why you use turbo timers.
We should. So why don't we explain that, Craig?
Okay.
So why would you want to use a turbo timer in an older vehicle that's diesel with a turbo?
So this is a really old diesel. It's a 1991 manufacture with an oil-cooled turbo, no intercooling and no water cooling in the turbo. So it gets up to about 1,000 degrees on acceleration in the turbo area, which superheats oil. And when you shut that down quickly, that's really bad for the turbo seal.
So that could potentially blow the turbo seal.
Yeah, the only thing cooling that turbo down is really hot oil, and so you idle the engine on shutdown, and that cycles super hot oil out with cooler oil in.
So what's the difference between a newer diesel vehicle that doesn't have a turbo timer and an older vehicle that should have one?
I really only deal with older stuff, right?
Yeah, I know you.
But
yeah.
Newer stuff, so like 2 years after this model, they started intercooling the diesels,
yeah,
and water cooling and oil cooling the turbos. So that brings it, does a better job cooling these things down than just oil cooling. So,
gotcha.
So it's a precautionary measure.
All right, so there's your explanation, guys. I know you guys were like, well, why does this car need a turbo timer? And turbo timers are so outdated. Craig basically just explained that the older vehicle technology doesn't have the ability to cool the turbo system down as quickly and as efficiently as a new vehicle might. So putting a turbo timer on this vehicle will allow the vehicle to cool down without having to sit in the car, I guess, and wait for it to cool down. Even under normal driving circumstances, where you're not pushing the vehicle, in this case of this Delica, it still generates a lot of heat. So having a turbo timer will allow the vehicle to cool down, and you're not having to sit in the driver's seat waiting for it for 2 to 3 minutes for it to do that. It just cycles the oil while the engine's running and then allows it to cool down. So there's your explanation, guys. But carrying on, Craig is in the process of disassembling the headliner on this thing. And
oh god, it's brittle, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's crazy how brittle it is. Like, I broke that freaking speaker cover over there yesterday, and yeah, so I left that one down because I forgot that he's actually taking the headliner down. But when he gets the headliner down, I may actually just keep that on, like I might attach that to the headliner, and then you can put the headliner back up with the grill still on it, so it sits flush.
Okay.
Because it is very brittle.
It's this curtain I'm trying to get at. So
okay.
I'm not sure yet.
Which one did we replace on the other one? It was the back side.
Back corner.
I already showed him the Delica that's outside there, what we're going to be doing with that. So Craig's going to be taking apart this and getting this curtain to work. You know, some people don't actually give a shit about the vehicles that they're selling, but Craig really gives a crap about the stuff that he sells. He wants to make sure that when it goes to you, that it is perfect and that everything operates the way it's supposed to. If you have any, you know, not necessarily demands, but requests of him to do to the vehicle, like this customer did. He wanted a turbo timer installed. He wanted a stereo installed. He wanted the speakers replaced. And this car isn't even going somewhere in Canada. It's US eligible. So he's shipping this car off to someone in the United States after he's done working on it and getting it perfected. So if you ever order a car from Craig, you'll know that it's going to be the cream of the crop of JDM imports. And I mean, there's a lot of JDM importers out there doing similar work, but if you're either a Polestar worker or an enthusiast, Craig is the only guy you should be talking to about importing a JDM ride. And the reason for that is A, he picks the best vehicles you could possibly get on the market. He has guys in Japan who can personally look at the vehicles for him to inspect them with their hands before he makes an auction purchase, which if you're going to order a car, you want it to be the best because you're not able to see the car because they're in Japan. So, you know, if you have a guy like Craig that you can trust to look at a vehicle for you, you know that when you get it in your hands, it's going to be just as it was described, if not better, because Craig's working on it himself and he's making sure that it's perfect for you. So I am going to carry on with this video. We're going to get this thing hopefully buttoned up today, and well, for the most part, and we'll get it working properly, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Hello, my friend. What are you doing? Pardon me?
Speakers.
Doing some speakers in this goddamn Civic, my friend.
Yes.
Yes. This car smells like sex.
Sex and shame.
Yeah, sex and shame, very bad. But so yeah, I guess we're just gonna do a set of 6x9s. That looks like one of our installs from back in the day. It is. Look how nice and beautiful and clean that is. Still looking good. I think we already did a set of front speakers on this thing, didn't we? Yeah. So when Damien gets this thing all apart, should be a set of 6.5s back there, not 6x9s. Yeah. Yeah, it's 6.5s, guys. That's 6x9s. Old school Phoenix Gold Octane, boys, from back in the day. Still hammers. It's got a A-Trans box, which makes that thing sound really good. Look at that. Right on. So he gets this thing all apart. I gotta do some business stuff with Papa Sandu, and we're going to show you this thing in the process, I suppose. All right, guys, so this is the set of speakers we are installing in this Civic. We already installed a set of those in the front a long time ago, but I believe the rears are now blown. So we are going to install a set of these. This is the new series, and maybe just new packaging. The speakers kind of look the same as last year's versions, eh? They don't look any different. Yeah. They look about the same, but the packaging looks a little bit different. So he's using a factory head unit. He may eventually upgrade to an aftermarket head unit, but again, I always suggest when someone's building his audio system, they kind of start at the source being the actual head unit stereo itself and kind of work their way back. And there's a good reason for that. The reason I like to explain to people is that the head unit will give you instant gratification with better sound quality over the factory head unit, more functionality, things like such as Bluetooth, USB, iPod control, auxiliary input, that kind of thing. And then it also gives you all the pre-outs and external outputs you may need to add things like amplifiers and subwoofers and things like that. And it's also transferable. So if you ever decide you want to sell the car and you make the investment in a decent enough head unit or stereo, you can take that out, rewire it in a way that it's literally just unplug it, plug in your factory radio, and Bob's your uncle. You can take that, put it into your new vehicle, and call it a day. Quick little explanation there for you guys. Craig's learning the art of taking apart something with no instructions on a vehicle. Sometimes this can be a challenge. You know,
we've done this before.
We have done this before, but this vehicle is like, the plastic is so brittle, eh?
Yeah. Everything wants to break.
Everything wants to break on it. So we're just slowly but surely, you know, trying to unclip small things and small items along the vehicle to see where things are coming off. Like this, for example. Like this panel here, the whole panel was coming off, but the actual knob itself wasn't. So it's like you have to pull that knob off, the panel comes off, there's 2 screws in behind it. And then, you know, up here, there's a couple of pushed style screws there, and it's still kind of not allowing it to drop down all the way. So we're picking away at this slowly, and as soon as Craig makes some progress, I'll get back at you. So we need a pick tool here. Those little push clips. Hey, what's this? Is this a new tool? Cool. What's this? Where'd this come from? Is that yours? Your torque wrench? Huh. I like when new tools just randomly show up on my bench. Right on. I think Papa Sandu might have brought that for me. That's pretty awesome. We'll have to ask him about that. But anyways, we're actually looking for a pick tool because I'm going to show Craig how to remove those little clips. Because they have a screw face on them, but oftentimes it's easier just to pull it out. Here, Craig, you want to grab the camera for me? And we're over here. People can see me working today. That's kind of cool. We got to flip that that way so people can see what I'm doing. So the pick tool goes inside of here, and we're going to lift in behind it and pull down on the clip, and then one part comes out. We just dropped it here, this part right here, and then the other part you can just go behind there and pull that part of it out. So that's how you remove a little clip, I guess. But anyhow, so we got about 4 more of those to do along here, and we'll show you what it looks like when we tear it down. Monkey see, monkey do. Hey, pretty easy. There was a guy yesterday who was commenting on the videos saying that I should start doing everything in a Japanese accent. I thought maybe you'd be better at that than I am. Oh, Craig, he's such a baller installer. I am teaching him how to remove a clip on his Delica. Is that good at Japanese? Not too bad?
Oh, that's brutal, dude.
That's brutal, I know. I'm better at East Indian stuff, guys, you know?
Just stick with
being a Paki and all.
Oh, are we filming?
Yeah, of course we're filming.
Oh,
Oh, Craig, you are such a good installer. You are removing the clip so good.
Look.
Oh my God, you removed the clip so good. Look, that didn't even really do a whole lot, eh?
That's not going to let it go down.
Like, how in the God's earth does this thing...
Those vents need to come off.
You think?
Yeah.
The vents, eh?
You should go look at the junk car.
Yeah, let's go look at the junk car. See, sometimes we can have a reference vehicle, like that junker vehicle outside. We're going to grab the keys, and we're going to go out there and have a look at it. What do you think, Craig?
Yeah.
All right, let's go do that, brother. Hey, Pops, where did that freaking, torque wrench come from? Did you bring that to me?
Yeah.
From home? Sick. Papa Sandu bringing the tools. All right, say hi.
What's that for? Torquing down seat bolts.
So seat belts, that's right, seat bolts. That's very important, guys, when you're doing seat bolts on vehicles and we're taking seats out to do things like heated seats and that kind of thing. It's important that you don't just like hand torque those bolts down, because you know there's certain specs that the manufacturers require for seats. It's pretty important, obviously. But anyhow, we're checking out this thing. Craig's already head deep in there. There's only one real way to get in this fucking van. I'll show you the inside, guys. We have just raped the shit out of this thing for parts. Jesus Christ. He's in there. Yeah, like we started taking apart all sorts of stuff in this thing. It is just a derelict. Rotted right through. Where's the key, Craig, in the door?
Yeah, this door doesn't seem to open anymore.
This one doesn't? Is it unlocked? Oh, let's see. All right, we're in the van, guys. Get a shot of Craig's ass there. Sorry about that, buddy.
No worries.
All right, so we've already taken this thing apart, or Craig's already taken this thing apart. So here we go. How does this come off? Yeah, you're totally right. The vents come out. The vents come out, and there's 2 screws.
The vents come out, but these are holding it up here.
There's a big clip on either side, right?
Let's just take this out to the shop.
Yeah, those vents come out.
So, okay, the vents are actually screwed, because those are threaded.
So the vents come out, and then there's a couple screws there, and that's it, really. on both sides.
So just the push screws.
And then
these
the
two
screws
on
there.
the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we take that?
Nah. You can pull out those vents. I'm sure they
must
unclip.
have had speakers here because there's holes. Oh, there's holes, but
There's no brackets back there, yeah. I'm gonna have to figure out a way of mounting those things again, buddy. Once the headliner's down, I feel like what I'll do is I'll mount the grills to the headliner, and then we'll put the headliner back up. So that's the curtain we gotta replace. We gotta take this one out. There's no battery left in this freaking vehicle anymore, so there's really no way of... Did we have to do that last time?
What?
Turn the vehicle on in order to get the curtain out?
No.
No, okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you guys the other side of this van. I mean, I think at one point it was rolled, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not by Craig or any of us. He bought it as a parts vehicle, so don't, you know, go commenting and saying stupid shit. But I mean, the floors are fudged on this thing, big time. Like, just rotten. I actually think I ran the extension cord, which is gone. Someone stole my extension cord. Oh, I just noticed that right now. Who stole? They cut it. No shit. Did they cut the extension cord? Dude, here's my cord. Where is it? Is it under the van? Someone legit cut my extension cord, bro. Wow.
Was it plugged in there?
It was plugged in right down there. Someone cut the extension cord. You know what? I kind of expected that to happen because people, you know, they got to get their fucking 10 cents for their freaking, you know, scrap metal. Ugh. Anyways, I can't believe someone stole my fucking extension cord. Of all things to steal something in the van.
The van's locked.
I know the van's locked, but yeah, the floor is like literally missing. Anyhow, so I wanted to show you that. Man, I'm like totally disappointed. Someone stole my extension cord, and like they just cut it. Anyhow, what's that, buddy?
I don't need to remove the back of the headliner. I can do it all from the center, I think.
Oh.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, anyways, we're gonna get back at you. Craig's gonna get this thing out of there. I'll meet you back in the shop in a bit. What you doing?
They have a weird
Yeah.
kind of thing on the bottom.
Modifying
there,
the speaker
so
bracket to fit.
Yeah.
Hey, bud. Someone stole the extension cord. They cut it.
Really?
Yeah. I know, right? Anyways, I guess I'll get over that now. One of our previous installs, nice and clean as usual. The rear decklet is off this. He's working on speaker number 1. Speaker number 2 is over there. And he's just modifying the factory speaker bracket so he can get the aftermarket speaker to fit inside of it. The shit we go through, buddy.
Get the big bad and the ugly out.
Yeah. Fuck's sakes. Anyways. It's a little disappointing. I gotta say, I can't get over that. Like, I cannot believe someone cut my extension cord. I mean, I could believe it, but it's totally unnecessary. Anyways, Damien's gotta get back to work and I'll go on my rant on my own. Got myself a JDM flare. It was actually inside this thing. I didn't realize that it was sitting up in there. It's kind of neat, still good. You guys want to see this thing go off? So what we got to do is, it's going to set you up right here. Got to set this thing off like this, open it up. There's a little striker right there. You pull that off, and then there's like a little piece right there. You put the striker on it like this. And that's a JDM flare, guys. Flare. It's awesome. Very bright and very smoky. Not sure how safe that is. Man, she gets molten. Just melting the freaking asphalt. And that put her out. All right, good. that's enough of that. Cool. Having fun, buddy?
Getting there, yeah.
So he's got to take apart most of this interior to get to all these sliding tracks out of here, along here.
What we need, the regulator's back here.
Yeah.
This is the curtain roll, and then there's tracks on either side. You can see one here.
Yeah.
And the other's buried here in headliner.
Ah, okay. So all that's got to come down, guys. When he gets this thing out, I'll get back at him. All right, so he's got the speaker mounted in the factory speaker bracket. And we've installed some Dynamat on there just to eliminate any potential vibrations. And you know, it's not 100% super pretty looking, but it is very, very effective. So it is mounted inside the factory speaker bracket. And I think now he's checking on proper speaker polarity, which is very important. So looks like we got our information here. And he's gonna get that sucker installed. We'll let you have a little baby listen. All right, guys, so we have had to put this on a hold for a day or what? Oh my goodness.
This is the nightmare. That's the curtain out of the parts van.
The green one, yeah.
Yeah. This is
all the parts out of the white one.
Some headliner sections out of the white one.
My goodness. So all this stuff had to come out of this van in order just to replace one curtain that didn't work. And that being said, we are giving up for the day because we have other things going on. And Craig will probably be back either tomorrow or the next day to complete this. But as you can see, quite a bit of the interior I had to get removed in order for that one curtain to come out.
So we've got the entire front headliner section loose.
Yeah.
The ductwork needs to come down.
Yeah.
Along here, and that's the regulator there, or the curtain roll and the regulator in behind.
So as you guys can see, there was a lot of work involved just to do one curtain. So when that happens and the headliner comes down, I'll finish those two speakers. That'll end up being tomorrow's video. So I guess there will be a part 3, guys. There will be a part 3. So we got some other things going on. We're working on this Civic, and we're working on this Cobalt here. I think we're just doing a quick set of speakers on this. We finished the speakers on that Civic. So in any case, we're all busy here. We're all doing things. Hopefully that was enough footage for you guys today. I'm gonna call it quits on this video. So hopefully you guys can subscribe. You can press the crap out of that like button, and you can also press that bell right over there for me if you could. I'd really appreciate it. If you guys wanna send me anything, the address is 663 Wellington Rd South, Unit 3, London, Ontario, N6C 4R4. And until tomorrow, I'll catch you on the flip side. Carphonics out. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.